welcome back to my channel. This is for education purpose only. At your service, Massage TV. Idioms. Do you know what is idioms? So, let's find out. What is the meaning of idioms? An idiom is a phrase that when taken as a whole has a meaning you wouldn't be able to deduce from the meanings of the individual words. It is essentially the verbal equivalent of using the wrong math formula but still getting the correct answer. Idioms are phrases which cannot be understood simply by looking at the meaning of the individual words in the phrase. Why use idioms in sentences? Idioms should not be utilized in writing for academic or professional purposes. In a more light-hearted setting, idioms may add personality to your work or speaking. Idioms can also be used to convey sarcasm or puns. You need to utilize idioms carefully, just like you would with any other language feature. The only issue is that it would be meaningless or have no impact to a group of individuals who are unfamiliar with the idiom you are employing. Therefore, you should always make sure that the audience you are utilizing idioms with can understand their meaning. For now, I'm going to show you the examples of idioms. First, break the ice, meaning to get the conversation going, provide a conversation proof. Example, starting class with a joke or subject students like will help to break the ice. 2. A dime a dozen, meaning very common, quite ordinary. Example, I thought it was something special but it turns out they're a dime a dozen. Next, beat around the bush, meaning to avoid saying something. Example, don't beat around the bush, just tell me what happened. Second, back against the wall, meaning forced to do something that you would rather not. Example, I really do not want to do this. My back is against the wall. Next, bite the bullet, meaning doing something you don't want to but also explains that you're making a proactive choice. Example, I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet rather than waiting around. Next, wrap one's head around something, meaning to understand something that may take a bit of time and effort. Example, that's really complicated. I'm going to take a moment to wrap my head around that. Next, under the water, meaning sick, typically used to describe minor illnesses like a cold. Example, sorry I'm feeling a bit under the weather and won't be able to come in today. Better late than never, meaning describe things that are better than not, even if it takes a long time. Examples, I went back to the college at 30 years old and figure better later late than never. Next, cut corners, meaning to skip steps or not do things completely. Examples, this is not important project so don't cut any corners on this one. Get out of hand, meaning when a situation gets out of control. Example, I meant to just have a small party but too many people came and it quickly got out of hand. Next, a snowball effect, meaning something that can continue to get more and more out of control. Example, I just invited a couple people over but there was a bit of a snowball effect and now there's a giant party at my house. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, meaning let's avoid addressing the problems until later on. Example, we won't find out until next month, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Next, to cut someone some slack, meaning To not manage someone very strictly or to not be critical. Example, cut me some slack, I'm trying. To be hard on someone, meaning to criticize or to manage someone very strictly. Example, you don't have to be so hard on your employees to be successful. Next, eat something out of one's system, meaning to do something you really want to and have been waiting to. Example, I really want to go to karaoke, sing a few songs and just get it out of my system. Burn bridges, meaning to do something or anger someone to where you cannot go back to how things were and cannot expect help in the future. Example, don't burn bridges with your employer. You may need their help in the future. Next, sell like hotcakes, meaning to sell very quickly or be in high demand. Example, I didn't think my crafts would be that popular, but they're selling like hotcakes. Fish out of water, meaning to be in an unfamiliar or uncomfortable place. Example, I don't want to change schools and be a fish out of water. Next, step up one's games, meaning to work harder or perform better. Examples, you need to step up your game if you want a promotion this year's. Your guess is as good as mine, meaning I don't know it there. Example, I haven't found anything so your guess is as good as mine. Next, leave out in the cold, meaning to be ignored or not considered. Example, not being invited to any of the meeting literally has me feeling left out in the cold. Keep an ear to the ground, meaning to listen for new information. Example, I'll keep an ear to the ground for any updates on the project. Next, up in arms, meaning to be angry or overreact. Example, don't give up in arms. I'm just telling you what happened. Run around in circles, meaning to put effort into something while making little or no progress. Example, my boss has me running around in the circle with unnecessary tasks that aren't getting us anywhere. Next, quit the barrel, meaning to make choices you don't want to or normally wouldn't. Example, they're not great but I was really scraping the barrel to find something. Blessing in disguise, meaning something that seems bad but provides some benefit. Example, I hated that assignment but it was a blessing in disguise since it taught me things that I use for the job I have now. Next, having an ace up the sleeve, meaning to have a hidden or untold advantage. Example, I thought he was definitely going to lose but he had an ace up his sleeve and caught up in points. Buy it, meaning to believe something. Example, that guy told me he's related to the president, but I don't buy it. Next, hook, line, and sinker, meaning to be deceived completely. Examples, I told him that I wouldn't pay him $1 million and he bought it hook, line, and sinker. Piece of cake, meaning very easy. Example, winning the game is a piece of cake once you understand how to play. Once in a blue moon, meaning very rare. Examples, she doesn't like it here and only comes once in a blue moon. On the line, meaning to risk something or have something at risk. Example, I invested my life savings in this business and have everything on the line. Next, a quick buck, meaning an easy way to make money quickly. Example, translation work is kind of boring for me, but it's a quick buck. Sight set on and set sights on, meaning to desire something or to make a goal. Example, I have my sights set on going to France next year. I set my sights on going to France next year. Next, add fuel to the fire, meaning to make a situation worse. Example, you should wait until later to say something. Sometimes arguing just adds fuel to the fire. Bone to pick, meaning to be angry about something and want to discuss it. Example, you may not think you did anything wrong, but I have to bone to pick with you about that. Go the extra mile, meaning to do extra work or put in extra effort. Example, she went the extra mile, got our sets upgraded even though she didn't have to. Hang in there, meaning to not give up. Example, I know things that are hard but hang in there. Next, done for the count, meaning to give up or not be able to keep going. Example, I tried everything and it took so much out of me. I'm done for the count on this one. Rest on your laurels, meaning to stop trying as hard because of your past achievements. Example, the work still isn't finished and things are just going to get more difficult. There is no time to reset on your laurels. Next, give it a whirl, meaning to try something. Example, I'm willing to give it a whirl even though I have never done it before. It's not rocket science, meaning it's not as difficult as you might think. Examples, of course I figured it out. It's not rocket science. Next, for now, let's quiz time. Break the ice. The correct answer is letter A. Next, back against the wall. The correct answer is letter C. Next, under the weather. The correct answer is letter B. Next, give up of hand. The answer is A. Next, let someone sounds luck. The answer is letter A. Oh, that's all. Thank you very much for listening.